All right, day 26, I think. Got my pack all ready to go. Sorted through all the resupply stuff. Got fresh food and, well, not fresh, but new food. New batteries and all that fun stuff. I need to go put that somewhere where I can retrieve it later. And I'll just do that on the way to Marble River, which is where I'm heading now. I just heard what sounded like a giant cat meowing just over there across the pond. There's a pond in behind those trees. It was really eerie. I wonder if it was a cougar. I've never heard anything like that. Well, that was pretty cool. I just went over to the bridge to check out the waterfall, and I could see the salmon in the river. So maybe I'll see more down below. Well, I made it to the end of the trail here at Marble River Provincial Park. The waterfall was beautiful, the salmon were jumping. This is called the Emerald Pools, but it looks a lot like any other river. So I'm just gonna get set up here in the Packraft and paddle out to the ocean. I think high tide is about an hour away. The slack current is about the same, and I have about 6 kilometers to go to the Narrows, Quatsino Narrows, where the current can get up to 12 knots, not 8 like I said yesterday. That's 20 kilometers an hour or something. Today it's predicted to be much less than that, so I should be able to cross the Narrows without much difficulty. I've also stocked up on water, an extra couple of liters, because I don't know how easily I'll be able to find fresh water once I reach the ocean. Well, that was short-lived. Those rapids are too dangerous to run alone, so I'm carrying everything up into the forest. I've still got the Packraft inflated. I don't know if I'll be able to carry on with it inflated. I need to go down river a bit, see what it looks like. It's really hard to see these rapids on the satellite imagery because the river is so narrow and the trees are so tall. They just obscure everything in the shadows. And all the pictures I've seen online are from, I guess, from people coming upstream from the ocean. And it just looks like a calm river. But I guess they just stop when they get to the first rapids. So they don't have any pictures of these. So I'm back in the forest, but this time without a trail. I thought I was done with the bushwhacking. I left my my gardening gloves in the resupply bin because I wanted to dust off my hands and say that's the end of that, but apparently not. The river looks really inviting down there, easily paddleable, but I just can't tell if it's safe to paddle from here or if I'm gonna run into the same thing a couple hundred meters farther down. So I found a really rough trail here. It's super overgrown in places, so I had to deflate the Packraft, but I'm just carrying it like this. And I think at the most I have 1 kilometer to go, but I don't know, this is disappointing. I could try and paddle this, but then I might just be wasting a whole bunch of time reinflating the Packraft only to have to deflate it again. And I have that slack current at 12:20 hanging over me. I don't know, I'm probably going to be late for it, but it should still be okay. So I'm just going to keep going here on the trail as far as I can. I hear more whitewater down there, so I'm glad I'm on the trail, but I can't tell if it's just a riffle or if it's actually a big rapid. And there's a juvenile bald eagle in that tree up there. I don't know if this will focus on it. Oh, there's a mature one too. Just flew away. This is the trail. I think it's a bear trail or a game trail, but there's definitely bear poo along it. It's pretty overgrown though, so I have to crawl and climb to get over all these trees. And it's a little bit precarious here on the slope. It's a vertical drop down to the rocks below. Well, I've got this side canyon blocking my way. If I want to continue downstream, that's the river there. And there's a rapid there. I'm gonna have to go down to the shore and see what I can see from there. I can't get across this. Just a constant stream of salmon. Well, that one's got a bite out of it. Probably hard to tell, but that's a pretty big drop, a couple meters at least. I could paddle across and then portage down, but I don't know what's around the corner. Climbing up here doesn't look easy either. Oh, big eagle. So I think I'm gonna play it safe, relatively speaking, and try and scramble up there and continue on through the bush. But I'll roll up the Packraft properly because it's kind of getting in my way. I don't know if you can tell, but that's a stone arch with a tree growing out of it. tell, I've had to climb way up high above the river to get around the canyons. And this is the kind of stuff I'm dealing with. I mean, there's a beautiful bear trail here, but it's just covered in blowdown. So like this stuff is like this high on me, so it's difficult to go under and difficult to go over, and there's just tons of it. So my progress is slow. I'm already probably an hour past slack tide, so I'm sweating like a... Anyway, I'll carry on. That's my trail. Another inviting looking pool in between rapids. Might be difficult to tell, but there's a big cave there. The water has undercut the limestone cliff. Well, I've reached one of these, another one of these tributary canyons. I either have to find a way down, way down there, or find a way across. What's it gonna be? Looks like the bears walk across that log, but that's a little too sketchy for me. It's a good 20 feet off the ground and sloping. So yeah, no. Sounds like a sea lion or a bear. That's freaky. Well, this day just keeps getting better and better. There's sounds like a big bull sea lion or something down at the mouth of the river. I'm clearly far enough down to where the sea life can swim up and eat the salmon. But I'm at the top of a cliff and there's no way down. And B, there's a nasty sounding sea lion at the bottom. So I'm going to carry on. I have no idea what time it is, maybe 2 or 2:30 or something like that. So things are interesting. Looks like I could get down there, but I'm only 50 meters from the sea lion. I saw some little, I don't know if they were females or young in the water back there, kind of far away and through the trees. So I'm not positive they're sea lions. They might be seals, but whatever it was didn't sound very happy. So I don't want to really have a confrontation. Male sea lions can be pretty aggressively territorial, and they have pretty big teeth, and that wouldn't go well with an inflatable boat. So yeah, interesting. Yeah. Well, I'm basically down at sea level now, but as you can see, I'm in the bush. So the shore is just over there, not too far, but this is pretty impenetrable. So yeah. Okay, I made it through that bush, and now I have another obstacle. This tree is growing horizontally across this little channel. And I'm trying to get to that grassy little spit there, which means I have to get past all these limbs that are growing vertically and out horizontally as well. So it's a bit of an obstacle course, but it's the only way across without going back through all that bush. And the alternative is trying to launch right here, which would be maybe possible. I can't really tell. It's really shallow, so I don't know if I could get out of here. I'm gonna try to get along this tree though. Well, I made it. There's that tree. So I made it to the Tidewater. Oh, look at that. That was a big eagle. Looking pretty ratty. So the sea lions are just around the corner there. I'm hoping I can slip out of here unnoticed. This is Varney Bay. The tide is falling and the river current will also help. So I'll get out of here pretty quickly, I think, and see how the Narrows look. All right, I am on the water in Varney Bay. I have a couple kilometers to paddle before I get out of the estuary, and then I'll follow the western shoreline towards the Narrows and have a look. I'm gonna look up the current prediction to see what I'm dealing with. Okay, things are actually pretty good. The maximum current is right now, it's 3 p.m. and it's only just over 4 kilometers an hour, and I can paddle faster than that. So, and then there's a slack current at 5:47, and it'll be sometime between now and then when I reach the Narrows, in theory, unless something else comes up. I have had a bit of a headwind here, but the current is slowly carrying me the way that I want to go. The tide is ebbing right now, and the river current is helping it. So things might work out pretty well if I can get across the Narrows around slack tide, and then the flood tide will be coming in, and that'll help me continue on away from the Narrows. So I don't know, it might work out. Definitely not going to be finished paddling today. Got about 45 kilometers to go, so unless I have a raging tailwind, I'm not going to get that far. Okay. Well, the wind out there is really blowing. I don't know if you can see, there are white caps, and I'm gonna try going around this point and I'll see what it's like, but it's not looking too nice. That's where I just came from. It looks beautiful. Somebody's got a house over there. It's all alone. I don't think there's any road out to it. You must get there by boat. Anyway, I'm gonna try paddling in the wind and waves, and we'll see how that goes. I'm just taking a break here. So far, sticking close to the shore. The wind isn't too bad, and the waves are not too bad. Wow. I've been watching the salmon jumping out there. It's just amazing. Constantly jumping. It looks pretty windy farther out there. It's a headwind. And my hands are already cramping up. I don't know if I didn't drink enough water or what the deal is. But I grip the paddle and I have to grip it like this to pull back, and my fingers get locked. It's like a claw they turn into, and I have to force them open. Force my hand open and stretch it out. I think the muscles that control them are in my forearm, but yeah, maybe it was yesterday's paddle that did it. But I have a long paddle ahead of me, so I better smarten up. The Narrows are just around that corner. The second corner there is an island. I'm gonna keep going and see how it looks. Obviously there are white caps and the wind is blowing in my face. Can't change that. Well, I made it across and then had to fight the current and the wind together, but I'm away from there now. I think my camera cut out like right after I set out on the crossing. Been having problems with the 360 camera. There's really nowhere to land along this shoreline. I mean, I could get out here if I wanted to, but oh, look at all the starfish. Orange starfish in there. Yeah, this is a hard paddle into the wind. The current here is flowing the way that I'm going, but it's very weak. You can see that I'm not moving, even though I'm out of the wind. I need to find a spot where I can stop and go pee at least, and then eventually somewhere to camp. But all along here it's been really steep and rocky, and then just steep forest. So yeah, it's gonna be a challenge. I'm taking shelter behind this log boom at the moment. It's still pretty windy out there. It seems to be dying down a bit, which is nice. There's a rocky beach here, but I don't think I could camp here. There's nothing really above the high tide line, and it's really steep and bouldery anyway. Cobbles and boulders. This is the only little sandy patch. Getting out of the Packraft here is really difficult because all the rocks are just covered in barnacles. And if you're not familiar with barnacles, they are super sharp. So I just cringe every time it scrapes up against them. I might just take a rest here for a bit and consult my map and see if there might be a beach farther along that I could camp at, or what I'm gonna do. I might have to hike inland a bit. We'll see. In about another kilometer or so, there's a stream delta, which might be a good place to camp. So I'm gonna continue on. I have to backtrack a bit because I can't get out from behind these logs at this end. So I have to go back that way. Just drifting in the wind here, back towards the little opening over there. Well, I'm just looking for a campsite. There's a little stream there, but I can't tell if any water's flowing in it. There's a grassy spot up there, but it's pretty exposed. And if the wind changes to the south, then it would be brutal. That point looks maybe promising, so I'm gonna go see if I can find a place to land and then check it out. And across the inlet there is a town, I think it's Cole Harbor. Okay, I found a beautiful forest here, and it's mature enough that there's plenty of open space on the ground. I'm just up from the beach. That's the beach down there. I'm gonna go grab my gear and then I'll bring it up to here, and then I'll look around for the best spot that doesn't have a lot of dead trees like that one and that one hanging over it. Either that or I'll push these over. But yeah, this looks fantastic. And there are some truly massive stumps from when this was logged maybe 100 years ago. That one over there, I'll try to get a shot with something in it for scale. But for now, I need to get my gear up here. All right, I've got my tent and sleeping bag drying up on the hill back there in the wind. I managed to push over one of these dead trees. That one was really easy, and the top landed right where I want to put my tent, so that's great. And this one, I can't push it over no matter how much I shake it, so the only way it would come down is if another tree fell on it. And if that's the case, then I have bigger problems than that little thing. So I feel pretty good about this campsite. Yeah, my sleeping bag and tent got pretty wet this morning and last night from the condensation. So they're drying out. And I like this spot. I haven't checked to see if there's any water in that stream. Maybe I'll do that after I get some food in me. I'm really hungry. I just came down here to the beach to cook my food, and I was getting water out of this water bladder, and when it's full, you try to open it, water squirts out. So I was being very careful to avoid that, holding it right over my pot here, and not only did I not avoid it, it was the worst explosion of water that I've made so far, and it went all over my shoes and pants. So I think I'm gonna try, when it's full, sliding the top off and pouring it that way. Maybe that'll be better, because I just wasted a good cup or two of water, and I haven't checked to see if I have another water source yet. So I'm fine for tonight and tomorrow morning, but beyond that, I have 30 kilometers to paddle before I get to Holberg, and I don't know if any of the streams are running between here and there. This is my little stream. There's not much, but I don't need much. There's a little trickle. I might have to go up into the forest a little bit to get above the tide line. Otherwise it might be pretty salty. But this'll do. Things are looking up. It's still pretty windy out there, but tomorrow's another day.